lap records, 2 wins yesterday and a championship win. He's on pole position. He acquitted himself very well in the mini twin race earlier, finished inside the top 5 against some good opposition. And I'll tell you what, I reckon I'm going to put him down as being the fastest man on the track here in this race. I might be wrong. Somebody who might suddenly turn up and go very quickly. The other thing I want to concentrate on here, so I really do need to concentrate on this, as much as I'd love to talk to you, but I get to talk to you occasionally. We've got a 21-point split between the top 3 in the rookie 600s. That is Dan Preston, Dean Neal and Matt Benton. That is the order in which they're running, but obviously it's all to play for. We've got the spanner in the works, that is Mr. Howarth as well. So we're just waiting to get the all clear ready to go in the second race there, as we have Mr. Kent join us. Hello, Mr. Kent. You come to say hello, and I'm afraid you've joined us at a very bad time, Mr. Kent, because we've got some very exciting racing to talk about. And once again, hooking up very well indeed from that third on the grid.
That's Matt Benson.
That is Matt Benson, isn't it? Yeah, we saw him do very well off the grid earlier, didn't we, Bradley?
Yeah, Dean Neal's going to take the race lead as he go in towards Rd8 for the first time of asking. That's the white wheels of number 96, Will Howarth, who was momentarily in second position, but gets the drive as they go towards Hollywood. And it's Will Howarth who leads the way in just his second meeting, his 7th race on that Yamaha R6. And he leads as they come down towards Hollywood and Craner curves for the first time of asking. But we've seen it a few times over the course of this weekend. But thankfully, the rookie riders through Craner curves safely. And Jeremy, that's a very treacherous part of the circuit.
Yeah, I mean, Craner has really taken a number of faulers. Friday we've even seen an instructor go down.
Oh, did we? Oh, didn't hear about the instructor. Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, he went there by himself. He wasn't actually instructed at the time.
Great picture of his bike. It's taken a drone shot of him on the grass.
Oh, really?
Down at Coppice there as well, unfortunately, on this opening lap. Looks like one of the rookie 1000 riders.
Okay,
the runner is up and okay. And then
number 28?
Yeah, 28 machine of Russell, that is. So, unfortunately, yeah, Mike Russell has gone down on the opening lap, but he is up and okay. And the marshals will be retrieving the bike now. So, lap 1 complete for the rookie 1000 riders. Just 4 of them out there on the circuit now. As the 600s.
Yep, sorry, I'm going to say the same thing. 600s coming towards the chicane there. I think they're being led by Will Howarth, who obviously he was out in the mini twin race earlier, so he got an idea of where the dry patches are on the track, or at least the slightly less slippery ones, and he comes across the line. And it is indeed Will Howarth leading Dean Neal, Benton, Marsh, Preston, Mason, Garner, Bet. So Driscoll leading Bull and Morgan in the 1000cc's. So it's going to be interesting to see, and sure enough, the fastest in the first sector. Now this is what's remarkable. Fastest second time, sorry. Yeah, Will Howarth. Now there we go. That's Morgan getting past his first sector. What's that? A 59.1, is it?
59.1, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the same sort of times that we saw from the mini twins, wasn't it? That's what they were looking for, to go sub 1 minute. So 59 is where the top half doesn't work. So that shows that power is definitely not much of an advantage in these sorts of conditions. First flying lap. What do you got there, mate?
Yellow flag down there at the old Hampton, unfortunately, and that is out of sight. But we do see the yellow LED panel flashing. Here comes Jack Driscoll. He's leading Brian Bull and the number 36 of Alan Morgan. So Alan Morgan, who took a 4th place earlier on today, he's there in podium contention. Fastest lap of the race for him on this second lap, 1 minute 30.424. As the rookie 600s now make their way around Coppice and onto the back straight. Yellow flag still being waved.
Oh, I think we've lost Marsh actually, mate. He's the one who doesn't seem to have tripped the timing being down there at all. So unfortunately, I think that's probably him. Russell, obviously, we know he's gone down as well. So all of a sudden, we're losing people very rapidly there. Here comes Will Howarth to the line then. So let's have a look. What's the time to beat? It's a 1:30.4. Yep, there we go. Will Howarth, fastest lap of the race, is up to 5th place overall. He's absolutely fine. I thought he would, and he definitely hasn't let me down. He's ahead of Dean Neal, Matt Benton, then Dan Preston. So that, of course, is the championship, and very close indeed between Preston and Neal. Just 8 points separating those two. So we'll do the maths at the end of the race, because as we know, this is 10 laps around here, so we've still got 8 laps, and absolutely anything can happen. It'll be interesting to see how far up Will Howarth can get here. He's come across the line, right? Let's take a note of this. He's 23, let's call it 24 seconds behind Curry, who is the last running of the 4 1000cc machines, because very thin field now. And of course, whoever wins this race will be the last ever winner of the rookie 1000s, won't they, Jeremy?
Well, indeed, yeah, and it's all changed for next year, and I think it's a good decision.
Long overdue, I feel.
It's a long overdue, and I think we do get people that come in and on these massively powerful machines. You know, the new bikes that they can pull at 220 brake horsepower now. It's crazy power for someone who's trying to learn how to go fast around the track. And this is the proof of the pudding. When you put a good rider on a 600, you know, they can give 1,000 a run for money, particularly in these conditions all day long.
Absolutely. Well, you know, when you started racing, the biggest thing you could ride at the time was a 600cc machine, and it made perfect sense at the time.
Really did.
I was very surprised when they lifted the limit to 1,000cc, particularly a 1,000cc's bike. That would have been in the days when the R1, the original R1 was available. That was a game changer, as you well know, particularly the endurance racing which we were doing at the time. And all of a sudden the R1 comes along, and well, you need one of those to go quickly. All of a sudden it moved the goalposts very rapidly. I'm genuinely surprised. You say you go and get a 220 horsepower bike off the showroom floor, which is not difficult at all these days, and you can go and race it, and you realise how little control you've got of those suckers.
Well, I think, you know, you started off, and we've all started off on the small bikes. We've all, you know, gone from 125s to 250s to the 400s and 500s and upwards.
Yeah.
And you learn a massive craft coming through the small bikes.
Well,
you know,
the other one, the other one I put to you is Andy Saunders, of course, and discussion with Andy a while ago, and he's saying, you go to the MZs, you want to learn racecraft, go and race an MZ, go and race an Ninja, go and race a YPM, something where you're not thinking about the power so much. We're actually concentrating on getting out of the corners, getting round the corners, braking, slipstream, all those little racecraft details which all add up. So there's an awful lot that goes into riding those little bikes that gets overlooked an awful lot. Something like Andy Saunders has raced fast bikes at British level. Pete Woodall, Joe Boldy, they've all raced the big bikes and done quite well on the big bikes, but they've learnt their racecraft on those little machines.
It's almost like a go-kart principle. So, you know, you go go-kart racing, as soon as you scrap your speed off, you're going to lose everything.
Yeah.
So you've got to keep that thing going. It's all about
keep that sucker stirring along. Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm surprised about there. We've just seen a fastest lap from Dean Neal. There we go, Will Howe for giving him the big up. Well, Dean Neal's about to turn in the first 34-second lap of the race. Sorry, is that 24-second lap?
24.4, yeah.
So the fastest 1000cc machine is 26.1. So we're going 2 seconds quicker on the 600 rather than 1000cc. I mean, obviously the twists and turns of Donington Park do lend themselves to the lesser power machine. It's all that corner speed around here. I don't have to lecture you. You've won races around here, mate, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I think
R6 and the 400 and things.
Yeah, and I absolutely love the 400 and 600 all day long. You know, you go to circuits like Cabell Park and Alton, and you know, you've got just as much power on these 600s now. You know, they're all putting out 125. You know, and it's power to weight ratio when you think about it.
Yep,
you
totally.
Know, you can really tap the power on a lot earlier for the corners. They're a lot more agile.
Okay, Howarth in his pursuit of Curry has got the gap down to 7 seconds. That was at the end of the last lap, so he's going to be coming across the line very shortly, I think.
Yeah, the flags up at Coppets and
okay.
going over to retrieve that machine, but it's up at Coppets where the yellow flags are being waved.
Okay, we've got Ryder is up and okay. Can't quite see who that is. I would say it's one of our rookie riders, but they're all one of our rookie riders, aren't they? Got a number there. Okay, I was just seeing the colour of that bike, mate, and I think that is Matt Benton's machine, unfortunately being recovered, which is a great shame because that means Matt's chances in this championship have just gone west. I mean, he was a fair way behind the lead, about 21 points away to the lead, potentially a champion. He's still going to finish on the podium at the end of the year, which is a very important thing and a great thing in your first year of racing, but he'll be gnashing his teeth just a little bit. He could be that 1 or 2 places a little bit higher. Howarth this time goes past on Curry, so now he's got another 28 seconds before he catches his next 1000cc machine, but he is going a couple of seconds a lap quicker, so I don't think he can quite do it with the time remaining. I don't think any of the others can. Dean Neal there in second place still of the 600s, and it's Trezens now who moves into third place. That's a new name for us. I think it could be his first ever weekend racing, because again we see this, don't we, Jeremy? He'll come and join us at the end of the year with the view to coming racing next year, just to get a little bit of experience in and a bit of a taster session, as it were, before they come out and play next year.
And it's really good, and what works well for these guys who are coming in for the first time in racing, you have a paddock buddy scheme, and people jump at the chance to welcome these new riders in and take them under their wing, show them the ropes so that they know where to go and what to do. And we see so much hunger. We're talking about the motocross riders that come in, and we see these genres of riders that come in where you say motocross riders are great on the exits, but they love quite moving around and shaky. I remember Frank was shaky when he started with us back in the day before he obviously became famous. But he was always almost standing on the pegs as a motocross rider.
Yeah.
CBR 600 out and then that. But then you've got, for me, the best riders in the rain are the trials riders.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
got such a feel for the throttle.
No,
You know,
ridiculously
Dean
good.
Heathfield back on the 1,000 days, probably about 10 years ago now, he came in and he absolutely trounced the rookie thousands in the rain. He just disappeared, and because he was a national trials bike rider.
Oh, okay.
Because
you've had a go at trials yourself, haven't you? It's one thing I've never done.
Yeah, it's really good.
No, it's, I just...
So technical.
No,
And
exactly. Too technical for me. Yeah.
That's what I like. Both fingers touch the ground because they've got a seat.
No, we do see Adrian Campos and people like that. I'm gobsmacked by what trials riders can do. The World Championship guys and the Red Bull guys riding along the ropes and things
It's
like that. It's just like, how do you do that? You look at a 6-foot wall and go, I'll just jump over that. Just what? No, I know nothing but respect for trials riders. They're just remarkable individuals. What's happening in the race in the meantime, Bradley?
The top three of the rookies found have come through. It's a 9.1 second lead from number 107 of Ryan Bull, and then it is Morgan and Driscoll. 10-second jump start penalty for a yellow flag infringement for the man who's leading the way on the circuit in the 600s. That's Dean Neal. So Will Howard, in effect, now leads the way. He's second on the circuit.
Will can't lose a race, can he?
I do hope that Dominic's down there with pit mod.
I don't know if you'll be able to relay that information. You might have seen it on the TSL timing app. You're right, Dean Neal, who was looking so good out there. Maybe that was a move, of course, on Howard. Maybe Howard rolled out of it just a little bit to allow the marshals to do what they need to do. And Dean Neal thought, oh, there's a gap, maybe didn't see it, not sure, but either way he's going to be paying the penalty there, which is a great shame for him. But hey, that's the rules, that's the way they're written, and it's only fair for everybody. As Howard now is within 15 seconds of the next out. He could be on the 3rd place overall if he can keep this sort of pace up, because on the last lap he went 5 seconds quicker than the 1000cc machine in front of him, as he did Dean Neal.
So how's it looking with the championship here?
I'm always reluctant to do a live championship. We know that Benton, because you know it's going to move 30 seconds later. So what's Preston got? Where is Dan Preston at the moment, mate? 5th in class, so that's going to be 11 points. That will give him 390, whereas Dean Neal's 2nd, which will give him 391. Oh, it's a 1 point gap. There we go. So that is how close it is. So I have to say that Dan Preston needs to find a way past on Betts. Mark Betts. 2.7 away, but look, he's going a couple of seconds slower, and his best lap is slower than Betts. So quickly, Dan Preston not hooking up the wet weather conditions. His only hope, I have to say, looking on paper or looking on a screen at this, is if one of the people in front of him lobs it, unfortunately. That is his only hope now, realistically, because with only 2 laps remaining, you've got to think everybody's in the groove, everybody knows what they're doing. And generally, looking across, there's big gaps between anybody, so I can't see anybody going for a suicide squeeze, sacrificing their position or indeed anybody else's position. So at the moment, I think we're going to see a single point victory in the 2025 championship. That would be absolutely remarkable effort. And yep, poor old Dan Preston, who's led for quite a while, and fair play, Dean Neal came strongly at Brands Hatch there. And Dean, yeah, he's only had 2 DNFs, so he's had a very consistent season. That's the way to do it, and just keep plugging away, putting the points in. I know you say that to your pupils, and it's being proved true once again. Fastest man on the track is Will Howard once again, as we see heading towards the bottom of the trainer curves there as he goes off on his last lap. Everybody on their last lap now. That penalty being applied to Neal sees him drop down to 5th place. Howard now showing as being 4.3 seconds behind Driscoll, top in 3 of the 1000ccs, because we are down to just a few 1000cc machines running around the circuit, of course. So leader up towards McLean's now. This is going to be Ryan Bull now. Who won earlier? It was Roy Noons who won earlier, ahead of Ryan Bull. So this will be Ryan's first win of the year. So that's all good news for him. He didn't win it until Donington last time. And let's see, previously he has had a 3rd place. He picked up 2nd and a 3rd yesterday, the 2nd today, so this will be his first ever win, I think. So Ryan Bull is going to be celebrating hard tonight. I think the gold medal on the dashboard makes the drive home a lot easier, doesn't it, Jeremy?
Dan Preston wasn't too impressed. He was shaking his head as he came out of the Robert chicane there. Sorry.
With himself, I wonder?
He's
Well,
with himself, I think.
a little bit late in the day, I'm afraid. Draw it down, unfortunately, as Bull takes the checkered flag. Every reason to celebrate. Gold medal on the dashboard for him. Here comes Morgan and Driscoll. They're going to be second and third across the line. Now we'll wait to see Dean, Neil, and there goes, side-by-side stuff in the 600s, and fair play. That was Howard winning the 600 race in a fair fight, and just ahead of Dean Neil. But Neil, that gives him 20 points, so that elevates him to 391. And we've now got to wait and see where Preston finishes up. There goes Driscoll over the line. Trezens will be next. And Preston is looking for that 5th place, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the second times here. I'm waiting for the 21 to show on the tracking here.
Okay.
Let's have a look there.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, look.
Down at the old hairpin, green flag down at the old hairpin.
Oh, no.
Potential yellow somewhere between Hollywood and Craner Curve. And if that's the case, then that would promote Dan Preston into 4th position. And that would be a couple more points for him.
Oh, boy, we'll wait and see who's that coming across the line there. Is that Preston? No.
That's Curry, the bike number 23.
Right, let's see where is...
Here comes the number 26 machine out of the Robert Chicane. It is Dan Preston, who is going to take 4th in the rookie 600s, Keith.
So 4th is going to give him 30 points. So we just see a little bit of a change there, because that gives him 392 on the back of my fag packet. So that means he wins the championship by a single solitary point at the last race of the year. So